21 and AM 1450, Yankton's home team.
Good morning. You are listening to the Coach's Corner on KYNT. Now, let's go to the voice of the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
Good morning. This is the Coach's Corner. Congratulations to the Yankton Bucks 49-14 victory on Thursday. Joined by Coach Brady Muth, Coach Justin Olson. Coaches, good morning.
Morning, Bryce.
Morning, Bryce. 2 weeks in a row, I've said I'm not used to this Thursday night football thing, but we're going to go back to normal Friday night football this coming week, right?
Yeah, and I'll also say the Thursday night football we put on the field's a lot better what Amazon Prime is paying for.
Hey, it's more entertaining. Yeah, right.
Although it was okay, I just saw the end of it, but they meant some stinkers.
That's what you were watching on your phone down there. Yeah. No, it was a great game for Yankton. We talked earlier in the season, going into the regular season victory, about how important the game was, and then once the Bucks defeated the Bobcats in Brookings, kind of felt like a weight lifted off the shoulders. Brookings has been a team that Yankton has struggled with historically the last 5 years or so, and then going into the playoffs, doubled down on that. Now, not only was that probably the greatest regular season victory, but now this was probably the most complete victory, would you say, as far as offense, defense, special teams across the board?
Yeah, I mean, all three phases, graded out very high. And also the other thing, too, is I think all three phases had really good game plans. That's a big part of it, too, and the kids executed it. And so it was a lot of fun. I mean, I love the game of football. I don't know. I'm sure I could remember if I tried real hard, but it's hard to remember a more enjoyable night on Crane Youngworth. I mean, there are, but
right.
Last Thursday was pretty fun.
Enjoyable, maybe in the sense of it wasn't as high stress, also, right? I mean, it's stressful, I know, as a coach, but
yeah, I wasn't stressed at all during the game. No, it was. It's just fun to see from a coach's point of view the things that we work on during the week, and maybe during the week getting a little frustrated with the response to what we're trying to get our guys to do, to see it all come to fruition on the field Thursday night, where here's your game plan, here's the technique we taught you, here's how you need to approach the game, and then they follow through on it. As a coach, it's really satisfying.
I will say it wasn't as there's much more stress at the beginning of the week that you didn't see, but when it came to the game, it was fun to be able to be. I mean, that's what you want as a coach, and then you just. There's nothing else you can do. You just let the players play, and you make some slight adjustments and remind them of some techniques and stuff like that, and then they go and execute, and they did one heck of a job. Like Coach said, in all three facets, it was fun. It was a fun game.
I know you both kind of have your blinders on when it comes to the crowd. You like to focus on the field and your team and stuff, but there actually was a pretty decent crowd at Crane, considering it was a monsoon all day and it was chilly. I was lucky to be in the booth with the heater on, so we're good. And if Hale tries to complain, he has a heater in his booth too. So don't try to make sure he doesn't complain about it. No, but it was an excellent night at Crane. And then as far as the defense goes, Coach Olson, Cauldron, Brandt, Jackson Eck, they had some runs, but the Yankees defense really just zeroed in on them and did a nice job of slowing down that run.
Yeah, and that obviously that's our main focus. We know what they were going to do. And their offense has some tendencies, and I think the kids took some ownership this week, in fact, and they watched some even more film than what they normally had, and that's what you got to do to prepare your mind. And then once your mind is right and confident, to trust your eyes and your instincts, then you see your keys, you read it, and then you're able to play that much faster. And I think the defense as a whole, on Thursday night, they played fast and they played physical, and they're starting to figure that out. And we have a work cut out for us, this next week, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But I mean, it's very nice and very satisfying to see them play at that level, and to know even the fact that I think that we're still not even arrived there to be the best defense that we can. So I'm excited for this next week to come up here to get in and put our game plan in front of them and see how they absorb that, and then come Friday night, we'll just let it all hang out.
You have a linebacking core, including but not limited to, obviously, other people who fill in, but Charlie Foote, Shaler Platt, Matthew Sheldon, Cody Oswald jumps in there every once in a while. Mm-hmm. And not only do I think they're one of the best linebacking cores, but they also have probably the most responsibility in the state for that position. They're dropping into coverage, they're rushing, they have to stop the run. There's a lot going on in those guys' heads.
Yeah, absolutely. And you hit it right ahead. We have a very athletic crew, and physical. I mean, they're strong, athletic. They're intelligent, which is a big thing. You know, you have Charlie Foote getting the alignment right for the defensive line. You know, we have another one getting the calls in. We have communication all over the board, with Cody Oswald making sure that he seals the edge, and then he has to drop off in coverage. And when he does that, and that kind of hybrid spots, with a collaboration with Coach Colpitz, we do some things a little bit differently than probably most defenses do. Defensive staffs do. We kind of mesh, the front with the coverage, and we have a game plan, and then the coverage comes in behind it, whatever I call. And Coach Colpitz does a great job of making sure those guys are in the right spots and the right fits. And now I feel we're a more well-oiled machine as far as that goes, and that's going to really pay dividends. Hopefully, this next week too. But we're very blessed to have those guys on our team, and it's been fun. It makes our jobs a lot easier, that's for sure.
We'll talk offense again, but for some reason I'm on a defensive kick today, so talking a lot this morning.
Well, I'm not going to complain. I mean, if I talk more than Coach Muth, I mean that's a win.
KYNT Studios. So he has really been focused on the defensive line now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how important has that been, not only to him but for that defensive line? It seems like he's a big body that you want on there, and now that he's there, like full time, 100% dedicated to that line, so the performance seems to have ticked up a notch.
Yeah, unfortunately, fortunately, it's one of those things where the offensive line solidified, kind of in a way that I think we put our best guys out there, and he's still backing up some spots, but now you look at it, you're right. I mean, he's fresh, and he's a force to be reckoned with, and he can chew up two gaps and just stalemate there and keep the linemen off our linebackers and let them just play. So him being fresh is huge for us, and especially this next week, he's going to have to chew up some offensive linemen, so our backers can just flow and do what they need to do.
I'll have Coach Colpitz zero in on more secondary players, but I want you to talk about that secondary as a whole, and just how they've stepped up. Even there's been very few, knock on wood, quite literally, defensive pass interference calls. They've had some routes where if the route's developing too long, they're going to fall behind their guys, just how it happens, but they're able to reach around, knock the ball out, and just really do everything they can to play smart football.
Yeah, technique wise, Pitts have them rocking. They've been working, and what you don't see and notice is that it's not just the week of work that we put in. It's the little things. I mean, it's the details. From the off season to the summer. Just always working their technique and having confidence and trusting it. And that's another thing where Coach Muth has the staff continuing to work, and we have position group nights on during the week during the summer, and I think that helps a lot and gets our kids a little more confident, and the younger kids. And so I think, in fact, that's going to help us out going forward with our younger crew. Already having those techniques, and so now we're just refining instead of reteaching and whatnot. So that secondary, great technique. Sometimes they get called for some. Well, we all know that we think that, hey, I don't know if that's really pass interference, but we can't do anything about it. But yeah, they're going to need to be on point again Friday against Pierre, and I think they're primed and ready to go. I don't know. It's just kind of like one of those things where you just want to just get out and start scheming. Like at the end of the game, Colpitz and I were like, hey, we want to talk about Pierre like right now. Coach Moose like, oh, let's enjoy this one because this is a big one for our program and our kids. So,
well, start thinking about the key for the Yankton defense versus Pierre as I turn and touch it back over to Coach Muth. Coach Muth, just 49 points for the Bucks. What happened?
Yeah, it was really disappointing. Need to get better. So we had a really good night offensively. I think I've been here 12 years. Last 12 years, I've been really fortunate to be around some pretty good quarterback play. I don't know if I've seen anybody run the position the way Rugby's done it here, especially in the last couple games. Just he has dialed in, I mean, and you can see it in his preparation and during practice and stuff. The things that he works on, they show up in a game and usually leads to success. So, I mean, the other big part of that too was Swanee was back to being the Swanee that we, know and love. I mean, he's a lot of fun to be around when he's healthy and he's hitting on all cylinders. And he had a great game, and I was really happy for him with the performance he had. But a lot of that only happens because our offensive line has gotten a lot better. I think Coach Huber's done a great job with getting those guys, to where they need to be at the season. We still have room to grow yet. I mean, we're not done. So, but just with the way that unit has really come together and has worked better. Like I said, we still have a lot of work yet to do, but the progression has been great. And then on the outside of that, I mean, it's really pick your poison, and the type of defense that Brookings played against us, there's going to be some spots open downfield to get the ball. And Cody and Tyler obviously were the main two targets here in this last game, but the minute people start trying to take away one of those guys or two of those guys, then you start hearing Austin Goebel's name more, and you start hearing Tucker Gilmore's name more. And so those types of things, in our perimeter, with the way our guys are built and the way that they understand the offense and run their positions, they had a really good night. We got to keep building on that if we're going to have success. I thought, the third phase in our RPO was about as good as it's been, where Rugby's pulling the ball out and getting it in space. And Tyler Solar, last couple games, and it's not quiet, but you just don't pay attention to it because Tyler's done it for so long and has been so good. But I think he had 9 catches at half last game. Yeah. I mean, those are big numbers for a half of football. And so I think our guys are really starting to play for each other. And, playing with each other is obviously important, but playing for each other and making sure that every play is the right play. Everything's heightened. It's been a lot of fun. It's been exciting this last week to be around it.
Tyler Stoller had a play where he had it on the near side of the field. He had a reception, and he had, I believe, 2 defenders wrapped around his legs and maybe waist, and he just calmly started getting his legs pulled out and kept going and added about 5 yards, and it was like he was dripping grease or something. I don't know, but he can be shifty.
There's one of those plays, too, where Tyler's got the ball in space, and there's a guy that's coming up to make a play on him, and he sidesteps him. And those things when he was younger drove me nuts because I'm always just run with a high knee and run through things is the way I look at it. But I caught myself during the game, watching Tyler as an 8th grade kid by himself with a rope ladder doing that same cut motion. He's been working that for, his entire football life. And it's really, really cool to see that. Like, you've been doing this for 5 years, working on this move for that long so that you can have it on the field your senior year. Is pretty impressive. And so it's just been a lot of fun to be around those guys. And that's not to take away the rest of the guys in our receiving core either. They're all real special.
How important was it to go down and score on that opening drive? There's been some games. It was the opening drive, right? I think I'm right on that.
Yeah, that's correct. I think we scored right away.
Yes.
Yeah, opening drive. But how important was that just for the momentum on the sideline? Just kind of get out there, get on the board.
It's a big deal. The one thing I always pay attention to is possessions, empty possessions versus possessions where you get points. And so every possession in my mind, we got to get some kind of point out of it. I know the old adage used to be any series that ends with a kick is good, but we have a good punter, but I would rather just not use him. So we need to score every single series. That's kind of how I look at it as far as the importance of it. So deferring, holding them, and then scoring, you just stole a possession there. So that's one possession that they're not going to get. It's like having an extra inning in baseball that the other team doesn't get. And so, that's only part of the equation. Is scoring first is only part of the equation. The other part of that is defense getting a stop to set us up for those things. And that's really the way the team is built, and kind of our approach to everything, our philosophical approach to it is just getting stops and then making sure we answer with those, and then your momentum grows exponentially, and it's really hard to catch up.
Each week, whether it's you or any head coach of a football team will say, we need to clean this up, right? Penalties, whatever they are. And the Yankton Bucks have done that. But you're never going to eradicate things completely, right? But one thing that really impressed me, Thursday night, was Yankton had another situation where they had some compound penalties, backed them up, right? But this time, able to not try to get all those yards in at once. Hubert didn't try to go to his playbook and what do I have for 3rd and 27?
Right.
But knocked it in half, then got the first down, went on to score, and that was really impressive.
And the the conversation we had before that, I can't remember if there was an injury. I think there was an injury before that where he had a chance to talk to him, but just to remind him and just to remind, just said, hey, we need to get to the 30 for points. And before I even said that, I said, hey, rugby, we got it. And he goes, yep, got to get to the 30. So, they're getting those things. And so when you see that play happens because of that. He's in the game plan enough to know this is what we have to do to be successful. It's not just getting the first down. It's another level of understanding on how the game works. And so, like I said, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm just getting juiced talking about it.
All right, Coach Olson, you ready? Here we go. What does Yankton's defense need to do this week? Like, what are the main preparations? We're talking semifinal playoff football up in Pierre. A Pierre team really don't need to even talk about Pierre as much. Just let's focus on Yankton. What does Yankton need to do to combat them?
Well, we just need to put all our dogs on the field. We gotta put our most athletic, most physical team out there on defense. They do a lot of good things. Coach Steele has a great offensive mind, and of course, everyone knows who the quarterback is and whatnot. So everything is going to run through him, and we're just going to do what we can do, and I think our guys match up really well. I'll be honest with you. I'm not looking back at shoulda, coulda, woulda. But the first game against Pierre, the first 3 series, I thought our defense, came out and did one heck of a job. But then, as it wears on, we just couldn't keep up. But I think I'm excited because, like I said, we're just going to get our best 11 out there and then rotate people through, keep people as fresh as possible, and just let it all hang out. Semifinal game, Coach Smith says this best. He says this all the time. This time of year is that this is the championship game. We got to put all our cards on the table, all in, all chips in, and play for the win here, win at all costs. And then if we happen to get that victory, the next week, we that's what we're prepared for. And then that's just fun. We just get out and we just play, and then what happens, happens. So peer first, all chips in, brother, and just let it all hang out.
Awesome. Coach, move to the other side of the ball, Yankton's offense.
I really like the game plan that Coach Huber, put together the first time we played Pierre. The thing that to me is the striking difference when you analyze, this game, us going against Pierre is our roster is healthy. The first time we played them, we didn't have Shelley, we didn't have Kaysen. Swanee goes out. That changes our linebacking core. Cirque. So then now we've got Shaler back. Shaler, who has going at H-back, and we've got Cirque then at running back. And it was just a lot of things that happened very quickly, and it spiraled out of control for us, and no moral victories. We got whooped. We didn't respond well to our next man in mentality, but this is going to be a little bit different now that we've got everybody healthy. Matt Sheldon's a game changer. Kaysen Store's a game changer. Gavin Swanson's a game changer. Having those guys back this game is going to make a huge impact for us. And so, like Coach Olson said, defensively, we got the guys to match up with them. I think we match up better with Pierre than anybody. And I'm not being arrogant. I'm just being honest. Our perimeter guys, our skill guys match up very well. Their offensive line, they've got a couple big guys. We've got a couple big guys that, there's some spots where they're undersized. We're undersized in a couple spots. Scheme wise, I think the lesson to learn from last week is scheme wise, whatever scheme we put in, as long as these guys are dialed in, they're going to have success. And that's the story of this week. We have to be dialed in and ready to go and ready to compete on Friday night. And it's going to be a challenge, but this is the one we wanted. We knew we were going to have to beat Pierre at some point. Why not now? Why not us? It's time to go to work.
So we're all in agreement. We're all pumped up and want to run through a wall right now.
Yes, right now.
I haven't lifted a weight since the Army, so I'm ready to think. I'm just like, let's do this. No, guys, I'm excited. Coaches, thanks for joining us. I'm assuming you guys have some kind of film or practice today. So
actually, today we gave them the day off.
What?
Yeah. So don't tell anybody. So interesting week. This is a nice week for the guys too, to get a reward for some hard work. So with the Thursday game, Friday becomes our Saturday. So then they have today completely off just to be normal kids. They can go hunt, they can go fish, they can go to the Mount Marty football game They can sit in their basement and play Fortnite. Whatever it is they want to do, they can do. And then come Monday, it's time to get to work.
All right, coaches, will you guys enjoy your weekends, assuming with some family time, as that's what's happening with me today. So, but again, congratulations on the victory Thursday night versus Brookings.
Yeah, thank you, Bryce.
Thanks, Bryce.
All right, we continue Yankton Bucks football talk, and we come back.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
In the lab or up on stage, Mount Marty University has a place for you. From athletes and artists to academics and alumni, together we cheer each other on and work to make a difference in the lives of those around us. Show your spirit at a university that celebrates what makes us different. Schedule a tour at Mount Marty University by visiting mountmarty.edu or calling 605-668-1545.
It's time for a new kind of credit card, one that's with you where you are, wherever life leads. The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO earns you unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase, every day, every step of the way. For important information and limitations regarding the rewards program, visit fnbo.com/evergreen for complete details. From the great big small bank, ever ready for you to earn more so you can do more. Only with Evergreen by FNBO. Learn more today at fnbo.com/evergreen.
You want peace of mind that you're healthy. Support your breast health by getting a mammogram every year starting at age 40. Multiple Avera Breast Center locations across the region offer easy access. We'll create a screening plan that makes sense for you. You have access to specialized breast cancer experts should you need it. Find a screening location near you at avera.org/breast.
Are you looking to get your career moving? Then Truxedo Bed Covers is looking for you. Truxedo of Yankton has immediate openings for first, second, and third shifts and offers weekly pay, full benefits package with paid time off, paid holidays, a team-oriented atmosphere, climate-controlled work environment, and pay starting at $19.75 an hour. If you're ready to join the Truxedo team, visit truxedo.com/careers and apply today. Truxedo is a real truck company and equal opportunity employer.
Olson Pest Technicians is a family-owned business since 1966, and with over 50 years of pest management, they understand your issues, and their well-trained team will help you solve your pest problems. Issues with cockroaches, ants, bedbugs, bats, termites, spiders, rats, mice, or other creepy crawling pests, Olson Pest Technicians can treat and cure them. Right now, they can provide grain fumigation on the farm and do one-shots for homes to keep pests out for the winter. Call Olson Pest today, 800-KIL-BUGS.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please move forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are so they can help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411 today to learn more.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Continue talking Yankton Bucks football. Coach Huber, Coach Brandon Colpitts. Coaches, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bryce.
It's a small world, right, Coach Huber?
Yeah.
All right. So we're bringing our conversation back on here. Let's focus on football. Here we go.
Football.
Congratulations on Thursday night's victory. Coach Huber, I was telling Coach Muth, unfortunately, just 49 points for the Bucks. What happened?
Yeah,
didn't quite get to 50.
Yeah, clearly we are underperforming right now. We need to know.
Great night for the Bucks.
It really was. I feel like all aspects of the offense were clicking. Like I kind of told you in the post game, there's a few things that we need to work on, but the beauty of playoffs is you kind of move on from any negative thing that happens in the game. Like you're going through the season, you're like, we need to fix this in the game, but there's a holding penalty. You give tips and stuff, but by this point,
They know the technique, they know the skills, and most of the time they know what they did wrong. Rarely are they coming over and saying, "Coach, what did I do wrong?" unless they're not 100% sure. And so it's really kind of just tweaking now. Like you're just making the small tweaks, and I just was so happy seeing those guys. They've clicked on certain parts throughout the season, but they were all firing on all cylinders on Thursday night. So it was so much fun to watch those guys.
And then the Yankton Moving Company as a collective, such improvement from even midweek, from the last time they faced Brookings to this last time, I should say, or the first time to the last time. Man, I cannot talk today.
Yeah.
But they've just made strides as a unit. You can tell the rushing attack is getting more potent, especially up the middle. And it just is everything starting to click. I mean, just like any other position group, actually more than any other position group, probably they really have to all be on the same page.
Absolutely. That's the fun thing about seeing these guys progress over the season is that group of old linemen. We've talked about this before. They have to work together. If you don't work together, if somebody's on the wrong page, it's very obvious when it happens because if one guy is on a different play than the other four, that play is not going to work. You need all five of them working and doing their job. And they have really started working together, kind of getting a feel for one another because, we got all different size guys on the line, all different speeds, all different mentalities. And so to get those five guys, communicating and being on the same page when it comes to footwork and hand placement, all that kind of stuff that, we work on day in and day out. It's been really fun. Those guys were balling out. They were having fun too. Just being physical. I know Coach Muth during film pointed out a few times where that mentality that we've been looking for, that nasty mentality, started coming out of a few of them. And I think, they're going to bring it into this next week.
Well, I'm about to border on cliche, but I don't care. Basically, running to set up the pass seems to have been now more important than ever, at least last like 3 weeks. Because I've noticed the passing attack from Rugby and the Yankton offense has gotten more just dynamic, I guess you could say. A lot of passes in the middle now, more targets. I'm assuming the hit chart is a lot more full, right? And is it because, Yankton's run attack, you're getting 4 to 5 yards a carry?
Absolutely, yeah. I think we averaged like 5.5 this last game. That's what needs to happen. We tell these guys all the time, we know that we have the skill positions that can do anything that we want to do, but you have to put it all together. You can't just be a 75% to 25% run-pass ratio. You have to be closer to the 50-50, 60-40-ish. But, it really has. I think teams clearly understood that, we got those skill guys on the outside. We got Goebel and Gilmore and Oswald and Solar, Sheldon, Swanee when he's coming out of the back. We got all these guys who are phenomenal athletes, and Rugby's putting it on the spot every time. Well, then you get teams who are now dropping 7 to cover that. Well, you have to be able to take that ball right up the middle and just make them bring guys in the box. You have to do that, and if they choose not to, then that's going to be a bad game plan on them. I also really enjoyed our RPO stuff this week. I thought Rugby made phenomenal reads. I think Solar had like 9 of his touches in the first half. Excuse me, and a lot of those were on jailbreaks and bubbles coming out of the backfield because they have to make that choice. We always have that read player for our quarterback keep, but we have the read player for that RPO as well. And I thought that they took great advantage, and we had great blocking by our receivers on the outside as well this week. So I think everybody's just buying in and understanding that there's a reason why we do what we do, and there's now they see there's a reason why we can do it really well.
And I'll talk to the rest of the coaches, zero in on those receivers, talk to them more individually. But before I turn it over to Coach Colpitts, let's talk some Rumble and Rugby. We see 6 last week, 5 the week prior. So by high school math, let's say 11 touchdowns in 2 games.
2 weeks. Yeah. He is phenomenal. I get a lot of people asking me, like what has he done? What's going on with him? And I'm like, well, he's a committed guy, and we knew it coming in when he was a sophomore that he wanted the ball. I remember Mitchell that year, Vermillion that year, there were a couple close games, and he wanted the ball in his hand. He wanted to take care of business, and he did. It's sparked from that point on. He's got, like we said before, that moxie, that that confidence that says, I'm going to do everything I can, and I'm really good at what I'm doing, and I'm going to show everybody that. And it's so much fun to watch him go out there and ball out every play. In film, we were talking. There was a play, I bet we had 5 seconds of pass pro where he was just able to be in the pocket, and they had pretty good coverage on that play. So he extended it, extended it out. We ended up getting that completion to Matthew Sheldon, I believe, on that play, and it was just so much fun because we turned a 5-second play into a 9-second play, and that was just because he understood. Okay, you can only block for so long before we're going to start getting some holds up front. I got to get on the move. He got on the move, opened things up, and he made things happen. He's got such a good vision of the field right now, and he was firing on every cylinder possible.
All right, start thinking Pierce defense for when I come back to you to end this thing. All right,
ready.
Coach Colpitz, 81 yards passing, completed for Brookings. Yankton secondary is the reason it's so low amongst the entire defense, but really zeroing in on the secondary. Great performance from them. They are to the passing defense what Yankton's linebacking core has been to stopping the run overall. Dropping into coverage. Tucker Gilmore just had a great night out of random, someone I just thought of. I saw him having some big pass breakups.
Yeah.
Rayner Roy's always doing his thing. I'll let you take it however you want, but just overall talk about the cohesiveness of that secondary.
Yeah, so early on, we knew that they're a type of team that's going to run the ball in same formation, and then they're going to play action and pass it. And so a couple of those completions you saw early on, we'd like to have back because we had our eyes in the wrong place, and we had practiced it. We were prepared for it. We knew exactly what they were going to do, and we didn't go out and execute it. And so that the first touchdown, that first touchdown drive they had, that was all on a lack of eye discipline, which is extremely important because your eyes tell you what's happening. And if you look in the wrong place, then you're not going to be in the right place. So, we'd like to get that back. But after that, they adjusted. I think that the flow of the game, it slowed down for them a little bit. It's a lot different when you go against your scout look and then you go against the actual Brookings offense because they're moving a lot faster because this is their offense. And so I think once it slowed down and they got a feel for it and got their butts chewed a little bit, then they were locked down. You mentioned Tucker Gilmore. We brought him in the game and we took Cooper out, one of our corners, we substituted a big guy, more of a linebacker safety type for a corner because we knew that we needed, basically another linebacker in the game for how much they're going to run the ball. And Tucker did a really good job. He'd be the first to tell you that he wished he wrapped up more, which is what he said yesterday.
No, he can't. He has one hand.
Yeah.
So, is that why? Was Brookings looking on the sideline? Was he holding up his cast?
No, but I thought he did a really good job. And, what was kind of fun to watch when he comes in there, he would just take the momentum of the running back completely out. Right? If he was moving forward at all, the second Tucker stuck him, the line stopped. And so that has a lot to do with, that's all physics, but it has a lot to do with Tucker just being a fearless football player and doing what he's asked. He hasn't played a whole lot of defense this year. And this was a game where we said, hey, this is an opportunity. And he's like, I can't wait. Which is just the type of guys we have. So it was fun.
Is this the best performing special teams unit you've coached so far? Excuse me, as I cough. But overall, even just numbers wise, or maybe just heart wise, I don't know, however you want to take it. It seems like this year's special teams unit has just been solid every single week.
Yeah. So I would say, gosh, the year
I'm joking.
if I would give these guys the way they're firing right now, I'd give them number one. I'd say as a full season, we were better. That year we went 9-2 in the playoffs. That group, we just had a lot of depth. But these guys, as the season has progressed, have come a very long ways. And I'd say that where they're at right now with, if you look at little situations like, downing a punt inside the 5-yard line, right? We've done that more this year than we ever have. Blocking PATs, we've done that more this year than we ever have. Our kick coverage unit, which is a bunch you look at it, a lot of those guys were JV players. They're starting to figure it out and they're starting to have confidence and play at a really high level. And then, you talk about Trevor Paulson. Anytime he's back there kicking or punting for you, he's going to put the ball in a spot for our offense and defense to be successful, which makes the special teams look a heck of a lot better.
I want to give just double a shout out to the special teams even on that. And while Trevor Paulson is probably the best kicker / punter in the state, the special teams unit still has to get down there and get the ball, stop the play. And he's punting it 60-something yards and it's amazing. But that special teams unit running with their hair on fire. There you go.
The hair's been on fire. And it's been really fun to see because special teams there's a lot of unsung heroes on those units. And that's why we try and honor one of them each week with a captain with a C on their helmet, because, it's important to recognize their effort. And it's also important, especially when you get into these playoff situations, special teams. I mean, every yard matters. And so when we're out there and we're taking care of business, it makes a huge difference for our team.
Pierre had a kickoff return to open their game against Sturgis. So, I mean, usually we don't say, hey, what do such teams need to do against Pierre? It's just always do your job. But anything special with Pierre that you're seeing that you're going to be practicing on this week?
I just say that they've got some good depth and some good special teams. It's not a matter of, what we necessarily have to do different. It's just a matter of going out and executing against a quality opponent. They've got good athletes back there to return, which if you look at, some of the teams we've played in the leagues past, they haven't had the depth to put their best athletes out there, whereas Pierre has, they've got good depth so they can put some better athletes back there. But nonetheless, we're going to go down there or go up there, I guess, and we're going to take care of business. Our guys, when you get to the playoffs, you have to be prepared for anything. You look at Brookings, they ran that fake punt. Our guys executed. We didn't need to call a timeout or anything. We just trusted our guys to make sure that they covered it up. And, I wish Cody would have knocked the ball down, but at the end of the day, he's an athlete trying to make a play. And it was a sweet catch.
He wanted the interception. I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Yeah. It was a really nice play, though. And you know what? It doesn't happen if we don't first cover all the guys up underneath. And then the other aspect of that play is people don't realize is that they snapped the ball to Eck, who is their best player, who's, 210, 215-pound load. And he was looking to run it for a little bit there because he knew he didn't have anyone open, but our ends did their job, which their job is to come in and make sure to contain the play, regardless of whether it's punted or faked. And them bottling him up forced him to make that throw instead of running it, which would have been more dangerous in my opinion.
Okay, you forced my hand because now I have to ask about the fake punt in further detail. And all credit to Yankton for stopping it and Cody Oswald getting the interception. Cody, I also would have tried to intercept it too. No, what I'm saying though is, was their process, Brookings, not dogging on them, but it really did seem like everyone in the stadium at one point was like, oh, well, this isn't going normally. I think there was something wrong with their process, right? Something was developing very slowly for them.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. I don't want to give
going,
it wasn't
a fake.
We all knew it was a fake.
Yeah.
Right. We all knew, no one moved in the backfield. So we knew the ball was going to the backfield and we probably knew it was going to Eck. And when they shifted those guys, it made it very obvious who the eligible receivers were. And so when we covered them up, it just became pretty simple for us right there. Like when you got a guy running out to a spot and he's eligible, well, all we have to do is take one guy and spread him out there, which Zarbuck did that, and the other side was taken care of because they had a wing, and it was just, I don't know, they didn't execute it very well, fortunately, but at the same time, we executed well too. So glad they didn't get a first down on that, and glad we were able to get our offense in a good spot.
Like I said, all credit to Yankton. It just seemed like I was kind of like something's weird here.
The other aspect, that, they tried that onside, right?
Yeah.
So people don't understand this, and I'm not sure if the rule is the same in college. I think it is, but the ball has to bounce, right? Mm-hmm. It's a kick catch interference otherwise, right? Yeah. So that ball's got to be on the ground. Otherwise, if you think about it, it's like catching a punt, for example, right? If the other team was able just to run down and catch the ball before the punter caught it and it would be their ball, that wouldn't make any sense, right?
So you just gun people downfield.
Yeah. You have to give the return team a chance, and if it's in the air, they have the right of way. So that's what happened on that play.
Coach Huber, Pierre's not listening. Don't worry. Give us all the first 15 scripted plays. I'm just joking. No, but what is Yankton's offense? Kind of what's your practice plan for the week facing a really tough Pierre defense?
We got to be very fast and physical this week. I think that was the best part of last week. And we tell those guys all the time, you need to practice so hard so that when you get to the game, it seems easy. So that you're not thinking about anything. You're just going. You're just playing. That's when games are fun. When you're not like, oh, I need to worry about my effort here or my physicality here or my technique here. If you go so hard at practice and you do everything you can there to get everything down pat, by the time that you're in the game Friday, it's muscle memory. Basically, you're just going out there and you're flying around. And that's what I think is the most important thing this week for our offense, is to just be very fast and very physical, practicing as hard as we can. We know going into Pierre, they have really good defensive backs. They have strong, quick linebackers, and they have some dudes on the line. It's gonna be a dogfight on offense because they have a very good defense, and I think Pierre knows that. I think we know that, and I think everybody in the state knows that. It's nothing new there. I am excited to go into Pierre with a healthy team. That's going to be a lot different than the last time we went out there. So I do fully expect our guys to kind of rise to this challenge and say it's playoff football. This is a new season. That's how you have to look at playoff football. Every week is a new season. It doesn't matter what we did against Brookings once we're done. Basically, when we're done with this radio show, it doesn't matter what we did with Brookings. It matters what we're going to do with Pierre on Friday. And our guys, I think, have that mentality of being locked in and doing everything they can to be prepared for Friday night, so that it is easy for them to go out there and just play.
Well, guaranteed victory if you wear black jerseys up there to say 3-0. 3-0 this season wearing the black jerseys.
They're slick. I like them.
Coaches, thanks for joining us. Congratulations again on a victory Thursday night. Enjoy time with your family today, and get to practice. We'll see you in Pierre.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Bryce.
All right. We'll continue here on the Coaches Corner when we come back.
As a proud community bank, Core Trust delivers more than just checking and savings accounts. We invest in the cities and towns where we live and work by volunteering to coach youth sports teams, supporting local charities and the arts with our time and resources. Whether we live in a rural town in South Dakota or a suburban city in Minnesota, it's a place we call home. Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations.
Member FDIC.
Do you have dry, sore, or irritated eyes? If so, you may have dry eye. At Vision Care Associates, we offer a simple, fast, and non-surgical procedure to treat black glands in your eyelids that can help your eyes to feel comfortable again. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Fieser to find out about dry eye treatment with our newest technology.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT&RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
Support a local business that supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts for Yankton's largest employers, Triple Time Rudy's. At Triple Time Rudy's, you get that local friendly feel and also a unique offering of products. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers, plus quality fuel products too. Conveniently located at 17th and Broadway for your daily fill-ups and convenience needs. Pull in to Triple Time Rudy's today.
Buying or selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you may make in your lifetime. I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and I'm ready to help guide you with professional advice from before the listing until after the close. Not only will you get real estate knowledge, but also we provide moving boxes and an enclosed courtesy trailer to help make the move just a little easier. Call me today at 664-5555.
It's the season of getting cozy, the season of warm apple ciders and sweet pumpkin pies. Before it's gone, be sure to get in the car, rev up that engine, put your pedal to the metal, and burn rubber before heading straight to the games. Fall sports are back, and First Dakota is sitting right up front with you on this adrenaline roller coaster. Raise your hands with every game-saving point, shout out your lungs when it kicks into overtime, and enjoy the ride of the season. Make some noise with First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakotanationalbank.com. Member FDIC.
It's that time of year again, and Yankton Rexall recommends you protect yourself from the flu bug by getting a flu shot from our pharmacy. Hi, this is Michael. Stop in anytime, Monday through Friday, and receive your seasonal flu shot. No prescription or appointment necessary. We'll even bill Medicare or insurance for those eligible. Stop in and let us protect you from the flu bug this season. Yankton Rexall, your hometown pharmacy since 1923, located in the Meridian District.
And welcome back to the Coaches Corner. Bryce Ladwig being joined by Coach Swak and Coach Brady Hale. Coaches, good morning.
Morning.
All right, big victory Thursday night versus Brookings. And just as I'm starting to get used to saying Thursday night, we're going back to Friday. Just stick with Friday from now on. Just always Friday night. But, that's not my problem. Anyway, big victory and, most importantly, a big playoff victory. In the regular season to that date, I would say that the Brookings victory at Brookings was the best victory, and then this one I would say is the most complete victory as far as offense, defense, special teams. Every facet of the team was on all cylinders. What do you say, Coach Hill?
Yeah, absolutely. That was our best game, as a team. And Brookings from the start, you can kind of tell there's nothing to lose. They're going to put all the chips and push them in the middle of the table. And that's a tough thing to compete against and be prepared for. But the guys did a great job responding to not only Brookings running their offense and doing their stuff, but also controlling what we could control, and just continue to put the foot down on the pedal here in the whole first half and kind of really putting it out of reach there in the first half. It was fun to watch.
11 touchdowns for Rugby Reichen over the span of 2 weeks. He is on a tear. I want him to continue that, obviously. But we've talked a lot about him, and you can talk about him as well. But I want to talk about the receivers on this team and your hit chart, so to speak, of how many people are getting targeted and the variety of passes, types of plays, middle of the field, out routes, stuff like that. Cody Oswald, who has just been great all year, but he seems to even have stepped it up another notch. Tucker Gilmore's getting some receptions in there. Tyler Solar's doing Tyler Solar things. Austin Goebel. I'm just going to name every receiver apparently, but I'll let you take it however you want. But it seems like that entire group has really stepped up.
Yeah, it's incredible to watch. So if you kind of cut the film on and watch that, you'll see Brookings had 2.5 to 3 defenders on Cody's side most of the time. So people might see Cody not having as many catches as they expect. He's a phenomenal player, but he's getting doubled and tripled, and he's still having 6-7 catches, 2 touchdowns, 100 yards, whatever the case may be. But he's getting doubled and tripled. And then at halftime, I look at my chart, and Tyler Solar has 9 catches in the first half. So Rugby does a great job of spreading the ball out, and then Tucker does a good job, kind of operating in the middle of the field, finding spots to get open and catch the ball in traffic. Really with one hand, he's got a cast on one hand. He's catching with his other.
The one-handed wonder,
Yeah, something I might tell him that he catches it better with just a broken hand. I'm just kidding, but
he's wear cast the rest of your high school career.
Yeah, and then Austin Goebel's. He's probably the fastest kid in the state, and he's the fastest kid that I've really ever been around in the high school game. And he's incredible, and you see it on kickoff when he gets going. It's pretty darn hard to catch up with that kid. So I feel like for Austin Goebel especially, there's some big plays coming because we've been really close with him a few times. And that's something I'm really looking forward to here in the playoffs as we progress. Is Austin can make a great play on special teams. He can make a huge catch on offense. And it's just really special to have guys at all 4 of those spots that are just the guys out there doing everything they can.
Since you joined the coaching staff, is Tyler Solar the shiftiest receiver that you've seen?
Absolutely, yes, 100%. He's been playing for seems like 25 years at the high school level, but no, he's not only athletic, he's smart. And him and Rugby have obviously played together. They're the same age, and they've grown up playing together. And you saw it on Thursday night when there's a read there that Rugby makes. He trusts Tyler to be in the spot he needs to be to catch the ball, whether that's just tagged route on a run play where we can just throw it out to Tyler to get some yards, or whether it's Rugby scrambling. Tyler's always that guy that's right where he needs to be. So that's why it helps him continue to catch the ball so often.
Coach Swak, Yankton's defensive line's got a nice push up center recently. Have they really found a new cohesive level together? Obviously, you have to give a lot of credit to the linebacking core and stuff, but they work in tandem together. They're opening gaps for those linebackers.
Oh, absolutely. Against a team like Brookings with that wing T offense and how they operate, I basically all week said, hey, guys, you're not going to light up the stat sheets. Your job is to keep the O linemen off of the linebackers and just hold your gaps. And from the first Brookings game, I think that was probably a big difference on the defensive side of the ball, where our line held their ground. KYNT Studios was taking on double teams all night. Maybe even triples at times. Tyson Prouty gets better and better every week, learning the new position. He's getting good extension and getting a lot better at throwing guys off and making a play. He stayed home, had a nice tackle for a loss. I think that was a third quarter there, maybe second quarter,
I think so,
where
yeah.
he kind of got sent back to his side, and he was right there. Good wrap-up tackle. Keegan Holmstrom came in and had some nice snaps. So excited to see him kind of get more worked in after that early injury in the season. Peyton Eustace has his freshman moments, but he also can explode about better than any freshman I've ever seen. So they're all playing pretty good together and getting better and better each week. And obviously this week they're going to need to do the same stuff. Pierre's got that. I just call him Douglas because he's from Douglas. I don't know what his actual name is. But
Check.
Yeah.
No, his name on the show is Big Guy from Douglas.
Yeah, Big Guy from Douglas.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. So it'll be
no apostrophes.
Yeah, we'll see if we can hear some sound waves when him and KYNT Store bump into each other a few times on next Friday night.
The season's not over, but I want to say I'm very excited for Tyson Prouty and his future with the Yankton Bucks. Obviously, moving forward, his build, just his athleticism on the field, and those kind of plays that you were kind of mentioning.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of. He's the prototypical. What I think. I mean, I'm not sure what his future holds, but I mean, tall, lanky. What colleges recruit for. I mean, athletic. Just needs to kind of tell him eat a few more T-bone steaks and chicken breasts every day and add a little meat to the frame. And yeah, I'm really excited about this game and hopefully the next game and next season with him.
More potatoes, right?
Yeah, more meat and potatoes.
KYNT Store, how nice is it to have him on one side of the ball, meaning the defensive line? Seems like like you said, he is getting double teamed, sometimes triple teamed.
Yeah, he's taking down that double teams, triple teams. You can have him in there to 2 gap, and he lit up the stat sheet with some tackles of his own. And what they all did a good job of was getting to the ball after a linebacker had wrapped up. They finally, I think it was the best I've saw him push back the pile and hold the pile at the line of scrimmage at the point of contact, so they don't get those cheap extra 2-3 yards that they were getting the first time we played them. So Kaysen, if he stays low, he's probably about as hard to move. I mean, it's physics 101, right? 315 pounder, and if he gets his arms into you, they can't get their arms into him. So let's just have him take down the big guy from Douglas.
Sorry, I was a C- student in math, but I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Coach Hale, Trevor Paulson has done it. He has reached a level where unless he does something absolutely just completely crazy, you just kind of forget about him because of how solid he's been all season.
Yeah.
I also forgot to talk about Trevor Paulson when I was saying that's a compliment to him, just doing what he does every week.
Paulie's probably the best special teamer that's came through Yankton in a long time. He does it all. I take it for granted too. When he's punting the football, that's something that he would probably admit that he didn't have a ton of practice at, as an early freshman, sophomore. But he's worked his butt off at that. And now I would argue he's probably a surefire college punter right now. And you can see it on Friday nights with just him hitting a spiral punt that turns over and goes 45 plus yards. I mean, I don't know if I see that a whole lot across the state. So that's pretty special to see. And then just also him knocking PATs through that operation's been great all year. And kickoffs, kicking it in the end zone, that's a huge advantage, especially as we progress. Like we were talking about, teams are going to have some great athletes. If you can kick a ball through the end zone and just completely take them out of the game, that's what you want to do. So those teams don't get touches for those guys that they want, like our Austin Goebels back there for Pierre. We want to kick it away from that guy. So Paulie, I'm just really proud of him, and I hope he has a long future kicking the football, wherever that may be.
And he stays grounded, so I'm not afraid to ask you this or say this, but is he perhaps, at least in AA, maybe more, I don't know, but the best special teamer just in the state?
At
least up there with him.
I think he would tell you that, he's a humble kid, so I think he would tell you that he's one of them. But I'm being biased. I think he is. I love our guys, and I'm a Yankton guy, and I think from just watching him every day, the things he does in practice, I just think from kicking off, punting, and kicking field goals, a lot of people might not realize how different those things can be, and how you got to swing your leg and do these things with your body and be able to do those things. So those things are really hard to be good at, all three of them. And I think that's kind of what separates Trevor, is he's able to do all three of them really consistently at an all-state level.
Well, coaches, congratulations on a big victory Thursday night. Have any big weekend plans?
Golfing.
Actually, Coach Hale alerted me to a good golf deal, so I'm going to be teeing off behind him, trying my best to hit into him.
Hit into me. If I show up with a lump on my head,
with the golf ball. Yeah. You're not going to try to run past him as far as holes. You're going to try to actually hit him with the golf ball.
Oh, yeah. I gave up running past him.
Schwach hits it too far. It's going to go over me.
Yeah, there you go. Coaches, have a good weekend. And again, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we continue here on the Coach's Corner when we come back.
You may not think of the flu as a serious disease, but complications can lead to severe illness, hospitalization, even death. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends everyone over the age of 6 months get a flu vaccine every year. Yankton Medical Clinic is offering flu shots by appointment only. Call today to schedule your flu shot or visit yanktonmedicalclinic.com/flu to learn more. Protect yourself and your loved ones this flu season. Get your flu shot today. So much care, so close to home.
There are a lot of benefits for your small business when you have a relationship with your locally owned and operated The UPS Store. I'm Doug Frederick, manager of the UPS Store of Yankton. Not only do we provide excellent customer service, but we also provide the necessary tools to help your small business thrive. We can help you with everything ing, printing, packing, copying, faxing, freighting, any ing your small business needs, even shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, every ing for your small business, and of course, shipping. The UPS Store of Yankton, across from Walmart.
Have aches and pains taken you out of your game? At First Chiropractic Centers, we have been helping people get back into their game for nearly 40 years. Whether your game is sports related, or it looks more like gardening, household chores, exercising, or just daily life, if your pain is preventing you from enjoying or participating in your chosen activity, we can help. First Chiropractic Centers, whole health with hands-on healing, with offices in Yankton, Scotland, Hardington, Tyndall, and Wagner.
Oh, I thought we'd never make it.
Me neither. I've never driven in a storm like that before.
Oh, man.
But we're home.
Yeah.
We're just a garage door away from...
Oh, what's the matter?
It's not working.
Why not?
I don't know. Who do I look like? Upper Midwest garage door?
Nah, they're much more handsome.
Don't get stuck in the cold. Before winter hits, call Upper Midwest Garage Door, your authorized Clopay dealer. They'll make sure your doors always go up so they never let you down. Online at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
Bring the crew to Pete's Ranch in Yankton. This is Annie, and we have legendary pizza and chicken just waiting for you on our buffet. Let us know what you're craving, and we'll make it fresh and bring you the first slice. Or let us deliver right to your front door. Your locally owned Yankton Pizza Ranch on Broadway, 665-1222.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch.
Whoa, that's good.
Education. That is one of our core values here at Missouri River Associates. Just making a sale is not our number one priority here. Our office is here to educate you on your choices in the insurance world. We are here to guide you in making the right choice for you, your family, or your business. Our agents are honest and transparent with you on your coverages. Let one of our agents show you your options today. Missouri River Associates, 665-6885.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Let's start talking Yankton competitive dance and cheer. Coach Stacey Reichen in the studio. Coach, congratulations on the season being over. We'll get into the results in a second. But before we talk actual numbers of the state meet in Watertown this last Saturday, just how does it feel just to wake up now and just know that the season is accomplished? You did it, and you have some time. I have to say time off with fingers closed. Obviously, you're busy with other things, but from coaching.
Yeah, it feels really good. It's kind of like bittersweet always at the end. This week, it's the only big change for me right now this week was I didn't have to get up for morning practice, and the girls felt the same, I'm sure. But when you say like the season ends. However, like the girls performed Thursday night at the football game. They've got a couple of basketball games they're going to perform at. We've got day camp. So, and like I try to take the week and just kind of be and kind of let my brain relax and settle. But yet I find myself thinking about, okay, next year, looking at songs. Like I've already been listening to music, and I'm already looking at choreographers and just trying to get one up on this stuff. But Gerald tries to remind me, Stacy, just let it just sit for a while. But I can never just sit. So.
Oh no, when you're passionate about what you're doing, and I run into that a lot of stuff with things that I do for KYNT and stuff. I'm already thinking about next football season. You know, It's not even over yet.
Right. Well, and okay, jazz costumes. Like we ordered new jazz costumes this year. I'd hope that we could get a couple of years out of them. They had like a lace overlay, and so that's kind of ripped up a little bit on a few of them. So I don't know that we'll get 2 years. So I'm already thinking, okay, what can we get for jazz? What kind of song are we going to have for jazz? Because we don't want a lyrical costume if we have more of a sassier song. And it's just a lot that goes into it behind the scenes, but it'll all come together.
Well, before we talk about dance, I want you to speak on cheer just a little bit. Obviously, you're not the cheer coach, but you work hand in hand with them. That's been a program that's been building for some time. But they finished 15th at state, 197.5 score, and a decent performance from those girls, and they are just on their way up, moving up.
Yeah, they put in a lot of it right in at the end. Like, I don't know all the technical like terms that Coach Wells knows, but I know they had some. She said kick fulls. I think that's when you toss them and you kick your leg in the air and you spin down. They had some switch up liberties, so that gets them some big points that they ended up doing at the end, which was huge. In the performance they had, they did have a 10-point deduction. Just the adrenaline and got him right at the end of the performance. But all in all, they had a great show in Watertown. They hit every stunt, I think, except one, which was huge. So it was really a fun day. We strategically placed, Coach Wells and I, our girls. So when the dancers were performing, the cheerleaders were right there on our side. When they were competing, we sat over there with them. So it was a good team unit to represent Yankton. But yeah, the cheer team, they really hit it strong, and it was a really great show. I mean, I think if they wouldn't have had the 10-point deduction, I think they could have gotten, I think it was 12th. They would have been up
Shows
there.
you how close all those things are.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's tight when people think, oh, you got 15th. Well, the difference between 15th and 14th might be 1 point. It's just crazy. So
yeah, it's very impressive. Congratulations to that cheer team, the Yankton cheer team, on a successful season. Let's talk dance. Finished 4th, 285.5 score. Brandon Valley defended its title, 298 score. And Brandon Valley just seems to be just like a powerhouse in dance last few years.
They are. They're very committed. Those ladies are a fine-tuned machine. And it's fun to watch, and when you watch their pom and you watch their jazz, you can see their energy in their pom dance. You can see the passion in their jazz dance. And every little thing is perfected. It's crazy. They are really doing well. But like Sioux Falls, Washington, they only beat them by a half a point. So that people are, when you're at the top, everybody's trying to push to get there. And then the challenge is, how do you stay there? And Washington gave them a run for their money on Saturday. And then we ended up finishing 4th. We got 4th.
Yankton's near the top too. I mean, 4th.
Right. 4th is great. We were 1 point ahead of Sioux Falls O'Gorman. They got 5th by 1. We won by 1. And then for 3rd, that was Harrisburg. They had like 288 or something like that. So we were like 3 points behind that. So I mean, it is so close. And like, for example, I'll just say in pom, if you have poms in your hand and you do an aerial and you touch the floor with a pom in your hand, that's a 10-point deduction. And so, if you get that 10-point deduction, that determines, if it would have happened to Brandon 10 points down, I mean, they wouldn't have won. It's a huge thing with all of those deductions that go into play. Hip hop, there's a lot of deductions that happened with the tricks that they perform if they don't land it safely. And if you have 16 girls on the floor and all 16 of them do that, you have a 16-point deduction. I mean, it's very unique.
What if you drop a bomb?
Okay, so that happened on Saturday. Actually,
the lights got dark in here as I asked that.
So, although the girls are trained, I didn't do it this year, but I have in the past. Like I have extra palms that we use during practice, and I will throw one on the floor just to see what happens. The rule is that if a palm goes down, even if it's not yours, bend over and pick it up if you can, because if you step on it, it's 10 points, and if it gets stepped on 3 times, you're at 30. So but on Saturday, Brandon, one of the girls, her palm, somehow it got kicked out of her hand and it flew, and then she threw the other one. So she had 2 palms that were thrown in the air like, yeehaw, whoopee, and they were on the floor and nobody stepped on it. So, I mean, that just shows you how disciplined those girls are.
Just act like it's part of the routine, right?
Yeah, but it clearly wasn't, because we were all like, oh my gosh, they just, you don't drop a palm. Like we've practiced all year holding those palms. The girls brought them to practice every day because we got new ones. And so we used our old white ones to practice with, just so they would be aware of it. And it paid off. I mean, nobody had a palm deduction this year for our team. So
did the Gazelles meet your expectations for the performance at state?
yes, they did. We talked all week, tried to go through. I mean, I pulled up old sheets clear back from our first meet in Watertown, and kind of went through, and I found like common things that we had gotten written down like 2 or 3 times. And we talked about those, just the lines and the formations. One thing that we've worked on a lot over the past seasons with me is our emotions. Our emotions have always been really strong. So that was something I felt really confident in going into Saturday. But it was a great day. In my head, I had kind of a game plan because our goal was to get in the top 4. And in my head, I thought, okay, if we can beat O'Gorman and Palm, if we can beat Harrisburg and Jazz, if we can beat Sioux Falls, Washington and Jazz. We've done those 3 things at some point in time over the season, but it hasn't happened at the same meet at the same time. And so I knew if we could do those 3 things, we had a really good shot at being in the top 4. We did 2 of the 3. And we came back with 4th. I was very, very pleased.
Well, congratulations on that state performance. I want to give you a moment to shout out your seniors.
Mm-hmm.
I know every year you lose seniors and it's sad, but the good news is, though, once the seniors leave, there's more younger girls stepping up, right?
Yep, there it is. So first one I'll have to talk about is Ariel Bender. She came in last year with us, and she was a manager. She's been kind of like my right-hand person. Like, she keeps track of all of my stuff at meets. She has the hairspray right there. She brings the palms when we need them. She gets the iPad. I don't even have to like tell her to go do something. She's always one step ahead of me. She always knows what
she may remind you of things, right?
Yeah, she does. She does. Like, for example, I'll lay my purse down somewhere, and she's like, Mrs. Reichen, your purse is over here. So okay, I'll get it, and we go on. So she'll be leaving us this year. And then we had 4 senior dancers. We had Avery Reifenrath, JC Ellis, and Michaela Polachek. Those 3 have performed in our pom dance for the last 3 years. So it'll be really sad to see them leave. And then we have Maya Gilbertson, and she's been with me. I'll cry again. I cry every time. She's been with me since she was a freshman on both dances. Her freshman year, we did kick, actually, so she was in 3. But she's the first one that I've had on the team as a dancer all 4 years. So I definitely have a special bond with Maya. And, I mean, she'll be great. I mean, she's like, it's not done, Mrs. Reichen. It's not done. We're going to dance at football. It's not over yet. And so we'll shed some tears, I'm sure, when we dance our last basketball game, or when she's doing tryouts for us in the spring, because the seniors always put that together. But it will be, it's bittersweet to see them go. And then, like you said, coming up next year, we've got 8 juniors. So those 8 will be seniors. One of them is our daughter, Madison. So next year,
we're going to have a rough last show next year.
And Coach Wells has said, she has said over and over again, because there's been times throughout the season where I'll look and I'll kind of get for a minute and I'll think, Madison only has 1 more of this. Oh, we only have 1 more of that. And I try not for my brain to go there. But Coach Wells is like, I don't even want to sit by you next year, because it's going to be rough. Every meet's going to be bad. And I'm like,
last time in here on,
yeah, it might be, but it'll be good. I'm excited to see what those 5 young ladies, what turns out with their life. I mean, the seniors that we've got and we've had in the past, like this year, Tia Vlassman, Liv Liebig, they were my first seniors. So they're in college now. They're going to be close to being done. Where's their life going to lead? It's just fun. But yeah, those seniors, they've done a great job this year of leading our group. Very, very well, like not being bossy, but being like a encourager and a support system and just helping guide everyone from start to finish.
Well, it's been very rewarding keeping track of Yankton dance and cheer this season. And I want to say thank you very much for whether it's on the phone, getting interviews, talking about your girls, or coming into the studio. That I really do deeply appreciate the time you take to talk about your program.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure coming in here, and it's something that I think as a coach, when you coach a sport that's like dance or cheer, that it's just, there's like kind of a select group that follows it. And if we can broadcast what we do to more people and get more people excited, I even had people at the football game on Thursday night when I was there.
Good job, by the way. I forgot to mention that.
Oh yeah, thank you. That was fun. They said, wow, I watched the meet on Saturday. I tuned in on TV on PBS, and wow, that looked like a lot of fun. I was excited to see that. That was so good. And so I thought, we're getting there. We're getting people more aware of what dance and cheer is all about. And it is a really good meet. It's the one meet, like I've talked about with the other coaches in the state, like when you're at that event, you are cheering for your opponent. And I don't know that there's any other sport that you cheer for your opponent. It's definitely like we hold each other up. When a school yells, "Go Big Orange," we all yell, "Go Big Orange," even if we're not, Washington or Huron. When Pierre comes and they do their G-O, G-O-V-S, Go Govs. I mean, we all join in with that because we're there for each other. So that's a unique thing that dance and cheer has. I mean, I don't think a football team is going to cheer for their opponent, or basketball.
Well, I think it's something that you would know better than me, but I think based on what you're telling me is kind of, for lack of a better term, kind of a niche overall athletic competition. And these girls know how hard it is, and they appreciate how hard it is to get this done. So it's just you're all kind of a big team.
Right. We are. And, when you say good luck to your opponent as they're walking past you, it is a sincere good luck. You do wish them the best. Obviously, you want to do better than them. But at the same time, you want them to bring what they have best to the floor, just as we want our own team to. So it's a unique atmosphere. I mean, I love it. I'm very passionate about coaching dance and then helping like guide with Coach Wells with the cheer team. I don't do anything with it really other than help her get organized and help her, along her way. It's her first season. I think she did a great job with that program. Just their confidence went through the roof this year with those girls.
Well, I also appreciate you talking about cheer when you can, because while you just say you're not the coach of cheer, Madeline Wells is, but you are also kind of, at least in a lot of people's eyes, one big team as well.
Yeah.
And appreciate that as well.
We are. We kind of refer to ourselves as the Spirit Squad. And this year it was unique at state tournament. We took a photo of all of them together. We've never done that before with me coaching. We're like, we want a picture of all of us. And it was one big team. Like we represented Yankton High School in the city of Yankton. And I think we did a really good job of it.
Well, Coach, again, congratulations. Looking forward to seeing some more halftime performances and things like that throughout the year.
Yes, we will be at those basketball games ready to go.
All right. That was Coach Stacey Reichen, Yankton Competitive Dance. And enjoy the quote-unquote time off.
You bet. I will.
You have. All right. We'll be back here at the Coach's Corner.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
In the lab or up on stage, Mount Marty University has a place for you. From athletes and artists to academics and alumni, together we cheer each other on and work to make a difference in the lives of those around us. Show your spirit at a university that celebrates what makes us different. Schedule a tour at Mount Marty University by visiting mountmarty.edu or calling 605-668-1545.
It's time for a new kind of credit card, one that's with you where you are, wherever life leads. The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO earns you unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase, every day, every step of the way. For important information and limitations regarding the rewards program, visit fnbo.com/evergreen for complete details. From the great big small bank, ever ready for you to earn more so you can do more. Only with Evergreen by FNBO. Learn more today at fnbo.com/evergreen.
You want peace of mind that you're healthy. Support your breast health by getting a mammogram every year starting at age 40. Multiple Avera Breast Center locations across the region offer easy access. We'll create a screening plan that makes sense for you. You have access to specialized breast cancer experts should you need it. Find a screening location near you at avera.org/breast.
Are you looking to get your career moving? Then Truxedo Bed Covers is looking for you. Truxedo of Yankton has immediate openings for first, second, and third shifts and offers weekly pay, full benefits package with paid time off, paid holidays, a team-oriented atmosphere, climate-controlled work environment, and pay starting at $19.75 an hour. If you're ready to join the Truxedo team, visit truxedo.com/careers and apply today. Truxedo is a real truck company and equal opportunity employer.
Olson Pest Technicians is a family-owned business since 1966, and with over 50 years of pest management, they understand your issues, and their well-trained team will help you solve your pest problems. Issues with cockroaches, ants, bedbugs, bats, termites, spiders, rats, mice, or other creepy crawling pests, Olson Pest Technicians can treat and cure them. Right now, they can provide grain fumigation on the farm and do one-shots for homes to keep pests out for the winter. Call Olson Pest today, 800-KIL-BUGS.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please move forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are so they can help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411 today to learn more.
As a proud community bank, Core Trust delivers more than just checking and savings accounts. We invest in the cities and towns where we live and work by volunteering to coach youth sports teams, supporting local charities and the arts with our time and resources. Whether we live in a rural town in South Dakota or a suburban city in Minnesota, it's a place we call home. Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations.
Member FDIC.
Do you have dry, sore, or irritated eyes? If so, you may have dry eye. At Vision Care Associates, we offer a simple, fast, and non-surgical procedure to treat black glands in your eyelids that can help your eyes to feel comfortable again. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Fieser to find out about dry eye treatment with our newest technology.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
You're listening to The Coaches Show on KYNT and KYNT-TV, brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
Welcome back to the Coaches Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Let's talk Yankton Gazelles of volleyball, being joined by Coach Chelsea Law. Coach, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so we haven't talked in a little bit. You guys have had some matches.
We did. We played a lot of volleyball last weekend in a short turnaround time.
Yeah, you went to the East-West tournament, and on that Friday, you opened it up versus Spearfish.
Yep.
These are all taking place at Rapid City Central High School. You lost that one in straight sets. Yep. 2-1.
Yeah, well, kind of how it works is because it's tournament style, but you want it to count for as far as seating points and like that. So even if you have to go to 3 matches, which that one did, you play everything to 25.
Yep.
So ultimately they won, 2-1. Definitely third match could have went either way. We just kind of didn't put the ball down when we needed to, and they did. So, anyways, you might probably want to keep going with the rest of the schedule.
Oh no, we can keep doing that. Let's go to each one. But 2-1 the next matchup. However, Yankton comes out on top versus host Rapid City Central. Was that nice to get that victory?
Yeah, it was good. It kind of at least alleviate some of the pressure if you want to get the win done, because we put ourselves in some opportunities where we can win, right? We don't always capitalize on that. So now when you kind of go for weeks and weeks and you're not winning, you kind of have to win. So it puts this pressure on you. So it was good to kind of get that one done. Still went to 3. Traveling out west, it was, kudos to the West River teams. They've been playing. I mean, they're up, right? So they were doing good things. Spearfish had some aggressive hitters. Rapid City Central was kind of defensively, you think they're not going to be ready, but they were. So going out and playing against those teams isn't always going to be an easy match. And so kudos to those 2 games on Friday night.
And then Sturgis, Rapid City Stevens, and Douglas on Saturday, all at Rapid City Stevens.
Yep.
A victory versus Sturgis, a loss to host Stevens, and then a victory versus Douglas.
Yeah.
Kind of go through those triangular matches for us.
Yep. So we finished the week in 3-2, which is good. We want to look at that and the positive things to go and get some wins. You don't want to travel that far not to get some wins. Yep. First match, it's bright and early. Took that one to 3-2. Handedly won the first set. Aggressive serve receive, aggressive serving. We were hitting the open shots, speeding things up when we could. Really took good offensive risks, and they paid off. I always say this: when you win a first set like that, be ready for your defense to come back at you, right? So nobody wants to lose a game, so you can't get caught off guard. And Sturgis turned it up a notch. They were swinging hard too. They had just a couple good strong hitters, but defensively and offensively, they kind of turned it up a little bit, and we weren't able to respond as well. And I don't know if it's like the pressure. We get nervous. We don't want to win. I mentioned this before that you have to be able to play to win, and you don't want to play not to lose. And sometimes I think that's how we attack things. But on the bright side, turned around, set 3, won that one. It was a good win to get. Next, Rapid City Stevens. They're up there in the rankings. Rapid City Stevens, I feel like as a team is, they're up from last year. They're really good defensively. They served aggressively at us, got us off on our serve receive. We just couldn't put things together when your serve receive is off. Completely different speed of game that we played previously against Sturgis Brown. But ultimately, Rapid City Stevens, they're a good team. So there you can tell that I think they're 8th last time I checked. Maybe it's somewhere around there.
As we're talking,
Yeah.
they are 8th right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're there for a reason. So good to them. For them, only went to 2 matches in that. We were in it for a few times. Actually, set 2, played a little bit better set 2, but just couldn't keep up with them. They had some strong hitters, good blocks. Our block was off. Couldn't get a touch on the block. So defensively, don't have to stand a chance. Finished with Douglas. Took it into kind of get a little comfortable when you're up by a lot. Douglas defensively was getting, scrappy defense, getting balls up, and we thought we'd put them down, and we're kind of watching. Can get caught standing up. They caught up a little bit in set 2. The window of the lead kind of started to slowly go away, and we won. It's good, but it was we got to handle pressure. We have to be able to handle the pressure to finish the game, and we're still kind of getting better at doing that, I'd say.
This is the last East-West tournament question.
Yeah.
Just what kind of bonding do the girls have going out there? Whenever you have an overnight and you have that many games, right? It's a good opportunity for a team.
It is, and that's what we say. It's like this will be fun, right? You get to travel. The weather was nice, so that kind of alleviates some anxiety of things. You get to hang out as a team that you don't usually get to do. You'll have supper together. You're out in different places, so it should be, yes, you're exactly right, a positive team bonding thing.
Yeah, and you need it going forward. Yankton right now in 17th, just outside the Sodak 16, but still a chance to get climb back in there. You are at Brookings, and that will be on the 1st, which, as I hustle to my calendar here, I don't even know. I didn't know what month it was until like this morning.
Well, I can't believe it's November already this week.
I know.
Wow.
Tuesday. All right, thank you. Tuesday.
Tuesday is Brookings, and then Thursday is our last home match of regular season against Watertown. Yeah, like you said, we got to get wins this week.
Yep.
If we want to be in that Sodak 16, we have to win. And the numbers go crazy this last week anyways, with people shifting around and all the things, but ultimately, and I don't want to put pressure, but we have to get wins.
Yeah, and maybe it's almost a blessing in disguise, when you're maybe in, like, let's say the 14th or 13th, however you might be. If you're trying to, there's a difference. It feels like when you're trying to tell girls, we're trying to get into 13th, right? You're trying to move up one versus we're trying to get in, right?
Yes.
Like overall trying to get in. So it'd be interesting to see how that moves forward.
Absolutely. Like you got to go. You got to take offensive risks. You got to put the ball down in spots where your defense is not. Sometimes we get in the habit of swinging in the same spot over and over and over again, whether it's a pressure thing, we don't want to make a mistake thing. But we have to be able to handle pressure handle the competition and offensively take risks.
Brookings and Watertown very similar to each other.
Mhm.
Middle of the pack right now in the standings.
Yep.
But what can you kind of tell us about that? At least let's just start with
Well,
Brookings.
when you look at any of those teams where they're at, if you kind of look at who they played and when they've played, it's basically at this point, who wants to come and win volleyball? Who's going to serve aggressively? Who's going to serve receive? Who's going to put balls down? Who's going to show up that night to play volleyball is going to win. We've put ourselves in positions where we are able to win games. We have our opportunities. We just aren't getting them.
Yeah, and just gonna be interesting to see how that all pans out.
Mhm.
And seed points.
Seed points
the
are
formula,
interesting, right?
The formula. I've seen the formula. It's not,
Yeah.
you can find it, but it's
Mhm.
just it's a like algebraic equation.
It is. It's this algorithm. Like, I'll just let the computer do that.
I'll let them put the results in and then
Yes.
watch. But
Absolutely.
we'll all be keeping an eye on the standings
Yep.
and the scores. We'll be covering the Watertown matchup
Okay.
here, the final home regular season game. For those watching right now in the coach's corner or listening, make sure you tune into that on Thursday night.
Yep.
Watertown, last home game and regular season game for the Yankton Gazelles. Coach, congratulations on a successful East-West trip.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll talk to you leading into that Watertown matchup.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, that was Coach Chelsea Law, Yankton Gazelles volleyball. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap up the coach's corner.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MTRC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
Support a local business that supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts for Yankton's largest employers, Triple Time Rudy's. At Triple Time Rudy's, you get that local friendly feel and also a unique offering of products. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers, plus quality fuel products too. Conveniently located at 17th and Broadway for your daily fill-ups and convenience needs. Pull in to Triple Time Rudy's today.
Buying or selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you may make in your lifetime. I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and I'm ready to help guide you with professional advice from before the listing until after the close. Not only will you get real estate knowledge, but also we provide moving boxes and an enclosed courtesy trailer to help make the move just a little easier. Call me today at 664-5555.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Thank you for joining us here today. I do want to talk about Yankton cross country. The Yankton Bucks finished second. Gazelles finished 11th. That was in the South Dakota High School cross country state meet in here on Saturday afternoon. Gazelles finished with 257 points. We're led by Thea Chance, who finished with 19th. She clocked a 20 minutes, 7 seconds, and .10. The Bucks finished with 142 points, behind Rapid City Stevens, who finished with 122 points. That was the best finish for the Bucks since winning the state title in 2009. The Bucks were paced by Zach Fetty, who finished fourth with a 1625.36, and the Rapid City Stevens also took the boys title. So that was a great season for the Yankton Gazelles and Bucks. Again, the Gazelles finished 11th. The Bucks finished second in the cross-country state meet in Huron this past Saturday. Congratulations to them. Always nice to keep track of them. And the Yankton cross-country first year under Coach Caitlin Savage. She's done a really nice job with this program. Coach Luke Yeomans had it in a good place, and she's stepped right in and advanced it even further. And so again, congratulations to her, the coaching staff, and to the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles cross country team. Thanks to all the coaches for joining us here today. Our next KYNT TV broadcast will actually be this afternoon. Doane in town versus the Mount Marty University football team. I'll be over at Crane Youngworth Field, but you can catch it on KYNT, KYNT TV, 12 p.m. pregame, 1 p.m. kickoff with Tel Tanner and Steve Toome. And then for Yankton Athletics, our next broadcast will be Thursday. It'll be Watertown in town versus the Yankton Gazelles volleyball team. They'll be their regular season finale. So make sure you tune into that. That'll be on KYNT TV as well. Braden Butler will have the call for the Yankton Gazelles. And then, of course, Yankton Bucks football time, playoff football time up at the state capitol, taking on the Pierre Governors. It'll be 4th-seeded Yankton taking on 1st-seeded Pierre. And that is a 7 p.m. kickoff, 6 p.m. pregame on KYNT and KYNTV. Shall see everyone around town today. A lot of family time lined up for myself today, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Appreciate you joining us here this morning. Thanks to Pizza Ranch providing delicious pizza. Annie and the crew do an amazing job there. Always appreciate their support. And to the rest of our sponsors making this show possible. And most importantly, to you, the listener and or viewer, for checking in on Yankton High School Athletics. I'm Bryce Ladwig. This has been the Coach's Corner. Have a great weekend.
FM 1021 and AM 1450 KYNT Yankton.